Number one rule, okay, in this podcast for the underdogs, for all of us, is if you give up, you quit. So never give up.
I want to get in shape, or I want to make more money, or I want to be a community leader. You're not going to bear fruit right away. Take it one day at a time. It can just control the things that you can control.
Break down your plan into small steps. Break down the whole year into months, and always have the accountability check.
There is no better time to start. There's no better time to go even harder. There's no better time to be even more relentless than right now. Don't hang your head if you don't reach your goal. Even if you didn't reach your goal for that specific year, you probably take steps forward to getting closer to that goal.
I think for the next year, I just want to be more systematic with everything I do and have better systems. If you work hard and you have a full-time job and you try to build something at the same time, you can't just keep writing the same goals and change nothing in your schedule. You have to make time.
This is how we're going to be millionaires, right? And this is the biggest thing that I think for all of us that has changed within our lives. Teamwork, not being the lone wolf anymore, not thinking, okay, I'm going to do it myself. No, understanding we're stronger as a team.
I will be a millionaire by next year, end of this time. Welcome to the Underdawgs channel.
Yes, sir.
Thank you to all our subscribers for subscribing to us, watching us, liking us. We really appreciate the support.
What are we at now, numbers-wise?
30 subscribers. Isn't that fucking crazy?
If you like this Eastern European, just comment below that you subscribe because of me. But you guys keep going.
Nice. And if you subscribe because of me, you don't have to put in the comments that you subscribe because of me. But I truly appreciate everybody on the audience. Today, we want to talk about something huge. I think Brendan's going to lead it off right now. And let's go for it.
Let's go.
Yeah, so today is December 21st, right? We have a few more days left before 2026 hits. And we just really want to talk about this past year, some of the biggest wins, some of the biggest losses, some of the biggest lessons through this whole year, and some of our own stories. So I'm excited for this. Really to talk about, everything from the start of this year until, a couple more days left and just how we're going to end strong. So I want to bring it over to Vlad, get us started and let's hit the ground running.
Absolutely. And we're going to talk about our everyday challenges, day-to-day challenges. And that's why you want to subscribe to this channel. And before you subscribe, hit the like button under this video. And you're going to follow our journey. We will roll out a new video every week.
Yeah.
And we're going to talk about 2025 challenges, failures, wins, how we're going to plan for 2026. And we're just like you. A lot of those podcasts that you see with millions of views, they relate to you, but the people that discuss their greatness and millions of dollars, they forgot our pain, and we're in your shoes. We're trying to make it while we're in your level. So that's why you should subscribe right now, and let's go. We're going to talk about 2025. Corbin was just saying how he changed in 2025, how he's a new person. And I met Corbin in 2020. Actually, I saw you last year, but we were not friends. But you want to start us off?
Yeah,
with
absolutely.
Your story, your 2025, and how you're going to get even stronger or better.
I'm excited. So this year in 2025, I started the year off smoking weed, drinking alcohol, vaping nicotine, probably like many of you guys watching us today, having some sort of addiction, having some sort of habit. I even was gambling once a week. Like I was going to the casino. Brendan knows that. I love going to the casino. You may have not known that, but I used to gamble a lot. And I truly loved it. I was living life. I came into the new year thinking I was all this and that. I just got out of a relationship for 3 years and I was like, you know what? 2025, it's whatever. I'm just going to go into the year. I already had my sales career. I was already having fun with my friends. But you know what really made huge change was I turned 27 in 2025. And Brendan, after my last time drinking in Vegas, was like, come to church with me. And on March 13th, I ended up going to church with Brendan. And ever since then, I quit smoking, I quit drinking, and I ended up getting baptized. So all of a sudden, this new Corbin was born. And through this new Corbin who was born, I went from working a sales job at Hyundai, which is a non-luxury brand. It was great and all, a lot of volume sales, a lot of learning. But what I learned most about that Corbin was I wasn't happy with where I was in my life. I wasn't making the money I wanted to make. I wasn't surrounded by the right leaders. And I decided that I'm going to follow my heart, listen to God. And I ended up quitting my job without securing another job. And Vlad knows that because I DM'd Vlad that night. I was like, hey, do you think I can get a job at Mercedes-Benz? And he was working at Laguna Niguel Mercedes at the time. And he's like, yeah, absolutely. Sends me the pay plan, hypes me up. Doesn't even know me, Vlad, at this time. Like, we just crossed paths in the gym. Doesn't know me, but truly was an exceptionally kind human and a very caring person. You don't know this, but this guy just actually vouched for me without even knowing for me. So I took that like with full steam, and I went to his place to apply. I went to other places to apply, and I was really betting on myself because during the beginning half of 2025, I learned from this man right here how to write the better version of Corbin, and I fucking took it and rolled with it, and I created this unstoppable Corbin.
And that's interesting because now I'm looking at you, and wherever you're talking about who you were before the Corbin I see now, I can't even picture it because all I know is you. And that's interesting how you can turn your life around and like really make changes in a period of what, 8-9 months.
Yeah.
And this is something that our audience can take from this. You can really change your life, the way you look, the way other people perceive you in a very short period of time. You just got to commit through these hard first few weeks, first few months of a change and building new habits. And boom, by the end of the year, you're going to be a new person. That's the time to write down those goals and work on your commitment and watch this podcast and surround yourself with new people, because it sounds like one of the pivotal changes in 2025 was meeting Brandon and going to church, changing everything. And that started with meeting the right person, surrounding yourself with a small circle of people that take you new direction, take you to the new environment. Now your small circle becomes a bigger circle with people that might not connect with you as Brandon on every day level, but now you have this bubble of bigger environment, and it changes you as well.
Yeah, and I've always thought about this. You know, there's a huge saying, maybe you know about it, maybe you know about it. That,
maybe I don't know about it.
Yeah, maybe
you always teach me some new
Eastern
English.
European.
Yeah.
So there's a saying that everybody knows that God will let you meet people that you never thought you would meet in good environments. And I met Vlad in the gym, and I met Brendan in the gym. These gentlemen, they have no idea who I am. I have no idea who they are. But over the last year and a half, we've really built a strong relationship to the point where we're sitting in a room speaking about our lives, our testimony to how you can become this new version of yourself. And so I just want to tie back into beginning. Corbin was working at Hyundai. You know, beginning of 2025, I was working at Hyundai. I was making sales, but I was not truly who I wanted to be. I wasn't a community leader. I wasn't guiding people in the right direction. And then halfway through the year, I joined Mercedes-Benz, and I'm more than happy with where I'm at in life. And I really got to sit down and think about that, because truly 8 months ago, 9 months ago, 10 months ago, 11 months ago, I wasn't in this position to be talking on the camera like I am today. And that's been huge for me.
So a few nuggets for the audience then, based on what you said. You change your mindset first putting yourself in the right environment. So you have to change your mindset first. You have to work on yourself first. Writing down what you want to achieve in 2026, trying to build the new habits. Then you put yourself in a new environment.
Yeah.
Because if nothing changes, nothing changes.
Absolutely.
So you have to go to the new places, to meet new people, to build that new friends and new circle.
Yeah.
You have to be intentional, right? And I think that's the biggest thing that we can take away from Corbin's just transformation in 2025 is like he was intentional with like everything that he did, right? The time that he woke up, that everything that he wrote down, the time that he spent with certain people, where he was putting his time and focus, what he was feeding his brain, right? So just understand, if you want to transform your life in 2026, be intentional with everything, right? And I've never given you publicly, credit just how much you have changed and how admiring it is for both me and Vlad, right? To see, I've seen a lot, right? And just to see you be like, you know what? I'm going to quit smoking. I'm going to quit vaping.
Yeah.
I'm going to build a relationship with God, right? I'm going to be in a better environment selling, luxury products to a higher clientele. Like you did everything that you told me in a matter of months. So big ups to you. I want to talk about a little bit about my 2025 and just, the things that happened, these past couple months. Understand, right? If you're watching this video and this is the first time you've ever seen us before and you really want to grow, just understand it's going to take time for you to bear fruit of the work that you start today, right? 2025 was a great year for me. Just, as far as like growing to become a better leader, right? I started working on myself about 2 years ago and just, again, being intentional with everything I was doing. And I started to bear fruit this year, right? So just understand like, okay, I want to get in shape, or I want to make more money, or I want to be a community leader. You're not going to bear fruit right away. Take it one day at a time and can just control the things that you can control, right? Because everyone wants everything.
Now.
Yeah. Overnight.
Everybody
I
does.
want it tomorrow. I want it next week. I want it next month. Understand it's going to take some time and probably a little bit longer. But I really want to say this before I pass it over to you guys again. There is no better time to start. There's no better time to go even harder. There's no better time to be even more relentless than right now, before the year ends, because everybody's taking their foot off the gas pedal. The holidays are right around the corner. People are taking their time off, with family time, wherever. Your competition, your coworkers, your haters are taking their foot off the gas pedal. So if you start right now giving it everything you have, come January, you're already going to be ahead of your peers in the competition. So start today. Don't wait till next month. Don't wait till a few months from now. Start today, right? And that hopefully that you grab that and you run with that, because that's going to be the difference between you starting off 2026 on a high note or you starting off 2026 like everybody else.
Yeah. And one of the famous people that we watch, and I'm sure you guys have seen him online, Daniel G. I heard it today. Work, no results. Work, no results. Work, building patience. Work, building patience. And then down the line, work, you start to receive the reward.
Yeah.
Right? So you may not receive the results in the beginning. You may not receive them halfway through the year, but that patience is keeping you from growing, or keeping you to grow and understanding how to become that better version of yourself, because the reward will come. Motivation isn't daily. There is no risk without receiving like heavy rewards, or like you don't take any risk, you're not going to get any reward in life. So take the time to develop who you are internally and who you think you want to become, but put the work in. Put it in daily. Vlad, I'm not sure where he was in the beginning of 2025, but let's just hear his thoughts on who he was then and who he's become now and what he's going to do for 2026.
Bro, nothing to brag about. I have a list of my goals for 2025. It's in my bedroom and I'm looking at it like I only achieved a few goals. Yes, I was consistent with going to the gym and I ran a marathon. In the beginning of the year, I probably wasn't as in such a good shape as I am right now. And then I realized it's just the rent that you have to pay every day. So I signed up for another marathon because, once you run a marathon, you think it's done and now it's behind, and it's never done. You're never done. You always have to keep working and paying that rent for your health, for your good physical shape, etc., etc. But I just realized right now that there is no better time than now. Like, one of the goals that I had for this year was, before the end of the year, you will flip a house. Did I flip a house? I didn't fucking flip a house because I was busy with everything else. So, like I said, if nothing changes, nothing changes. So I think for the next year, I just want to be more systematic with everything I do and have better systems. Like, if you work hard and you have a full-time job and you try to build something at the same time, you can't just keep writing the same goals and change nothing in your schedule. You have to make time for those changes. So if I couldn't do a flip of a house this year, then I didn't dedicate enough time for it, enough effort, and I didn't want it bad enough. So now you really have to break down your day and think of how you can implement that system now in your day where you can change it. Because it's easy to write down big goals and just be generic with everything. Okay, next year I'm going to do this and that. But it should be written down by month, and how you're going to progress. And then day by day, not like 365 days, but how your average day is going to look like.
Yeah. No, I get
when
it.
it's going to start. Like, because we're just creatures of habits. And if your day is not written out and you don't have a system, same shit's going to happen again.
Yeah.
Because you're just a creature of a habit. You're an animal that have instincts. Yes, we're higher than animal. We have brain, we have awareness, but we're fucking animals. We do a lot of things on instincts, and we do a lot of things based on just our habits.
But let me cut you off for a second, because I like everything he's saying. Did you know me halfway through this year? Did you know me? Like, did we hang out? Did we have dinner? Did we break bread?
We got to know each other like since August.
Since
but it feels
August.
like I know you for
Years.
Yeah.
Okay. Brennan, Vlad and you just met, right? Technically?
2 months ago?
2 months ago. Okay. That means that throughout the year, things have changed for you, just not at the pace you wanted. So I just wanted to reiterate that is a lot of things do change, but they're never going to be at the pace that you want them to change.
Yeah.
So having those structures that Vlad's talking about, that's fucking key. That's the key to actually achieving those goals. Like he said, I didn't put enough time and effort into flipping the house, and so I ended up losing that goal. But now he has 2 other men here with him that are actually creating systems and structures to be on a podcast that have pushed him even harder. And you won't know that on the screen, but I've seen Vlad work even harder in the last few months than I've seen him probably work in the entire time I've met him, because he's like, man, I'm going to do the podcast. I got to do my business real estate. I got to do my own FBA Amazon. I got to sell cars. I got to take Corbin out of work right now because the podcast is for the future that's going to grow us and become successful. So eventually, writing those goals down, like Vlad said, that's it. That's going to be the key. Reflecting on the day, having the day broken down, having the months broken down, having the year goals broken down. But I think the biggest takeaway that I had when you were just speaking was just don't be too hard on yourself if you don't achieve the goals. Start to reflect even harder on how you can achieve the goals and what's going to make the difference in making that goal attainable.
Right.
100%.
You have to be realistic and understand that if you have work ethic, that's number one skill to build. Have a work ethic, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now that you have work ethic, you know how to work hard, you have to start to think how to work smart. And you have to prioritize. And one thing that I have to do, because you listed a lot of things. Yes, I do Amazon FBA. Yes, I have real estate license. Yes, I want to be an investor. I have a full-time job. I have a family. We have this podcast. I want to sell like course. I have Instagram in Russian. I have YouTube. Like I have this YouTube. Like you can't because you can't add all these things in your life. It's just you have to get rid of few things. And right now I'm thinking like I can't get rid of anything. Everything is important. And if I get rid of something, it's like I give up. If I get rid of my Amazon FBA, then I give up. If I get rid of my like real estate license, then I give up. Like
Number one rule, okay, in this podcast for the underdogs, for all of us, is if you give up, you quit. So never give up.
I know, man, but you have to be smart. Yeah. Like you have to prioritize. You can't just do everything.
Agree. You know? Just don't give up. Because I was going to give up this month in commission sales. I'm getting hammered this month in commission sales. I mean, making less than $6 an hour. And I'm sitting here like, fuck, how am I going to pay rent? Fuck, why is this happening to me? Instead, I still keep showing up because at the end of the day, the fucker who decides to lose is the one that gives up. I'm not going to be sitting
And you
there
went even harder. You started to go to the gym twice.
Yeah, I love
which is not a good thing. But it's a good thing in a hard time when you can push yourself even harder.
Stressed out. Sorry. Had to hit the gym twice. Get fucking big.
I want to touch up on what Corbin's point was on just like, don't hang your head if you don't reach your goal, right? Because even if you didn't reach your goal for that specific year, you probably take steps forward to getting closer to that goal. Right? And maybe you're looking at it from a shorter time frame and what it needs to be on a longer time frame, right? Maybe it's going to take you 2 years instead of 1 year, right? But as long as you get to that goal, that's all that matters, right? And that journey of you getting closer and closer to that goal is what it's all about, right? The experiences, the skill sets, the mindset that you acquire along the way. That's all that matters, right? For 2025, for me, it was kind of huge. You know, Corbin kind of knows my story. You know, I would drive from Rosemead, Los Angeles. If you guys don't know what it is, it's like an Asian hood, right? I lived like damn near in the hood, sharing it with, another individual because I didn't have enough money to get my own spot. And I was driving like an hour and a half to work, right? Working out, making content, doing other things. And then I wouldn't leave until at least 7 p.m. to get back so I wouldn't hit traffic. Right, so I was driving 14 hours in a week, hour and a half there, an hour and a half back, about 2 hours, right? I was showering at 24-hour fitness because I wasn't going to go home to LA and then drive all the way back, right? So I had to shower at the gym for about 8 months, 7 months out of the year. And I never complained once, but again, I was getting closer to my goal and all the lessons that I was learning along that journey was what it was all about. Right? Never complaining. Just always tell myself, okay, like if I can stick through this, right? And just continue to persevere, just continue to believe in myself, like I'll be able to accomplish anything.
Yeah.
Right? Now I have my own spot. Living alone in one of the richest areas in the country.
Beautiful space. High ceiling.
Yeah. Yeah, right?
No, I just complimented you today before this podcast. Like it's beautifully set up. And think about 8 months ago, right? You're just telling us the story.
It's a huge story. Underdog, the whole channel. I mean, Brendan was driving. He was so intentional. He decided that it's taking 14 hours out of his week. He's like, that's a waste of time. But he still showed up with a smile every day.
Yeah.
Still showed up to the gym early mornings every day. Still went to work with a smile on his face, even though he knew he was showering in a dirty gym.
Yeah.
And then he would drive home. After he did his content, after he did his whole sales job, after he had conversations with people to grow them, he still took care of himself. I mean, it was huge. It was admirable. It made me rethink, like, I'm not doing like anything special by living on my own. You know what's even harder is living on your own, but accepting the fact that you have nowhere to go except someone else's house.
All right, I like all that, but how do we become a fucking millionaires in 2026?
Okay, that
I'm very-
podcast is
I'm-
coming up.
I'm very touched by your stories, but I'm very curious, how do we become fucking millionaires so in 2026? Because it seems like when you look at social media, Instagram, everyone, dealership walking in, buyers, young ballers buying G-Wagons and stuff, everyone is a millionaire except us.
I'm going to be
this
a
is-
millionaire next year.
This is how we do it.
I'll put it right down right here.
Hold on. When?
Go ahead.
No, this is very important. When
I
are you
will
going to
be
be
a
a millionaire?
millionaire by next year, end of this time. So
Really?
let's give it a whole year span.
Did you write down how you're going to get there?
Yes, I've been planning it out. And
Can you share?
It's not. There's no secret sauce to becoming
Please.
a millionaire. There's no secret sauce to being a millionaire. It's what you said: structure, action, and daily outputs to receive the daily inputs.
This is how we're going to be millionaires, right? And this is the biggest thing that I think for all of us that has changed within our lives. Teamwork, not being the lone wolf anymore, not thinking, okay, I'm going to do it myself. No, understanding we're stronger as a team, right? Regardless of our ethnic backgrounds, we're stronger as a team with Vlad, with Corbin, utilizing everyone's skill sets, mentality, accountability, discipline, and all working towards the same goal. We're going to pass everyone. That's the difference between the current version that you're probably not doing as well with the better version of yourself that's probably a millionaire, is he has a team, he has structure, right? We talked about this all the time. My mentality last year, the year prior, even the years prior to that was like, okay, I'm going to figure it out. It's going to be me. But this day I started understanding, for you to grow and to be competitive in this market, right? You need a team. It needs to be we.
Yeah.
Right?
And
That's how we're going to be a millionaire.
And Brendan and
in
I talked about it a
2026.
lot. I was like, there's a lot of things that people forget. It's you don't become a millionaire by yourself. So I will reiterate what I meant by I'm going to be a millionaire by next year. With this podcast channel, with our daily outputs, with what we're doing right now, we will generate that $1 million outlook in our life. Now, individually, we'll be successful regardless, because he has to take care of his life, I have to take care of my life, and you have to take care of your life. But if one of us becomes a millionaire sooner than the other, at least we can reinvest that into the Underdog channel or into something that all three of us can grow and make even more money from.
I think you have to figure out how to increase your income first. And there is going to be a period in your life when before, you're thinking of millions, you think of how you can make 20, 25 grand consistently. And along that, decrease your expenses. So that's the biggest thing for young people of our generation, younger. We want it all now, and we also want all the nice stuff. And that's why you can't put money aside and you don't have good enough income. So if one of the ways to get that income is get off the hourly paid job and get in sales and set the goal to make at least $20,000-$25,000 a month, where you can set money aside. What do you think about that?
You mentioned you have to increase your income, correct?
Increase and decrease your expenses, yes.
I think you have to peel a layer back even more. How do you increase your income? It's through acquiring skills that you can leverage, that either in direct proportion of your skill set, that money's coming through, or you're adding value to a specific company, or it's content, whatever it is, you have to acquire skills.
Correct.
So you can utilize your phone, something that's in your pocket 24/8, right? That you guys are using every single second of the day. ChatGPT. What are the highest rewarding skill sets that I should learn right now? Or what are the most rewarding skill sets that I can always utilize? I'd say sales, like Vlad said. I'd say communication. I'd say persuasion. I'd say marketing, right? Just understanding if you have like the three main core skill sets, any of those three, you will start to increase your income.
Yeah. And that's a huge thing. So increasing the income will allow you to put cash flow on the side to build that next generational wealth, build that business, that podcast. But you got to increase income so you can have some additional cash flow while decreasing what you're spending.
Yeah, man. If you're making like $4,000 or $5,000 a month, it's not gonna.
And there's nothing wrong with that, but just remember, it's not gonna get you the life that you want, right? Because we're relating to everybody who is not successful, who may be in the position of working hourly. I just told you like less than 15 minutes ago, I'm making the least amount of commission possible. So commission has no guarantee except for yourself. So build who you are, decide to strive for the best version of yourself, make that goal for 2026, and actually figure out a way to increase your income. And I think that's going to be the hugest thing, that this year, all three of our incomes, if we ended up putting away $1,000 each, let's say, that's $3,000 a month, that's $36,000 a year, that could actually exponentially grow, whether it's in business, finding another area to host a podcast, whether that's putting in products, whether that's using it for a down payment to flip a house, whether it's finding a wholesale unit, multi-complex home in a different state. Plenty of ways to start making some big money for 2026.
You got to understand too, I really want you guys to grasp this one. If you increase your income, right, and it's starting to work in your favor, just understand with that income, with more money is more responsibility.
Yeah.
A lot more. Everyone just sees like the golden side of making more money, being successful, but they don't see the other side of the coin of the responsibility, the accountability, the stress, the things now that is on your plate that you didn't have, right? Exceeding that number every month. Speaking of income, I know me and you talked about a year ago, maybe 13 months ago, on like how I met Corbin. What was it, 14 months ago?
It could have been 14 months, I would say.
14,
Maybe even a little bit longer, but we'll go with 14 months.
Okay, we'll say 14 months. Me and him were talking in the gym, and I was like, man, I just want to make 10K a month. Like, if I can just make 10K a month, I'm good. Like, that's all I was striving. Of course, I was striving for the moon, but I was like, I just need to get 10K, and then going through this year, it's like I've far past that, right? So, again, don't lose sight of the goal, but just focus on the process too. Like, it's really the journey that's going to help you get closer, to your goals and just allow you to have a successful 2026, right? Moving forward, I want to ask you guys two questions. Looking back at 2025 from a bird's eye view, right? What would you say are the biggest lessons that you've learned more about yourself?
You want to take it off, or you want me to go for it?
If you have something to say, you can go forward, but it's a deep question.
It is a deep question.
Put him on the spot.
You kind of have to think about that question a little bit.
Want me to say it one more time?
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Looking back on 2025 from a bird's eye view, what is the biggest lessons you learned about yourself?
I have to be fucking more systematic.
Yeah.
Nothing's gonna change if your day is not gonna change. Always break it down to your day and hours in a day. The moment you wake up, what you do, then you get to work, and then what you do during the work, then what you do after work, what you do on your day off, and stick to that system. Oh, I'm gonna come in on my day off and make extra sale, or I'm gonna really enjoy my day off. Okay, then nothing's gonna change. So be more systematic. And also, like, learn new things, man, because we're living in a time of revolution of AI. And, there was a gold rush revolution, there was computers, there was an industrial revolution, there was internet revolution, there was e-commerce revolution. And now we're living AI revolution, and it's going on right now. And we're so busy with our lives, and we don't identify the opportunities. Like, not that you have to quit your job or I'm going to quit my job, but I'm really trying to figure out that AI shit, how I can make content with implementing AI more. Like, how I can just put my video, me talking, and have AI edit my video and put things that would be on the background, like make the whole nice video. There is apps out there right now, they're doing it, and it would save me a lot of time. So, and there are new things going to come out, and 2026 is going to be the year when you really have to pay attention to that stuff. AI, how you can implement it in your life. Because then you're going to watch all those kids, 17, 18-year-olds, again, making millions of dollars with that AI, and you're going to be like, oh, fuck, I just wasted another year and I haven't really paid attention to it. So what I'm going to pay attention to is AI and how I can implement it in my life and make my life easier and ride on that wave if I can.
Yeah, it's deep. Systemizing your life to allow you to push forward and just continue to make progress, right? What would you say for yourself, Corbin?
Say the question again so the audience knows exactly what we're talking about.
Yeah, looking back on 2025, I know we have about 6 or 7 more days.
Sure.
But from a bird's point of view, what was the biggest lessons you learned about yourself?
Bro, you really tested Brandon because he doesn't have that question right in front of him or on this TV. I'm surprised he remembers that. He keeps saying the same question. Okay, Corbin, impress us.
You distracted me. What's the question again?
This dude. You got it.
So,
Bird View 25
biggest lessons you learned about yourself.
You know, Steve Jobs, he always took a moment to analyze the question before he answered. Do you guys know that?
Now I do.
Yeah, that was a big thing for him. You ask him a question, he'll never respond right away.
No, they even gave you a compliment. They even gave you a compliment at work.
Yeah,
like how Corbin can take a pause and
it's really big
and process it.
When you're a big community leader and when you're a leader, you're never meant to speak really fast.
100%.
You really got to analyze that question. But I'm not going to hold up the audience like for a moment or 10 minutes. But for Steve Jobs, the way I would answer that question, right? In a bird's eye view, what are some of the biggest lessons I learned? Is first, put your faith in God and his plans will prosper. Okay? Put your faith in something above who you are as a person and you shall receive the benefits of those blessings. And I really learned that transitioning and quitting a job without having any job lined up, I really put myself like in a vulnerable position. But that also taught me that the only thing in life that you can bet on is yourself.
Like that a lot.
So that was my biggest lesson I learned, that I tell Vlad maybe at work, and I maybe have told you too, Brennan, like no company, no job will ever dictate my success and my future.
Yeah.
Because I realize that it's going to come down from what I do on a day-to-day basis, who I interact with on a day-to-day basis, what type of performance I do for myself, whether that's in sales, building skills, whether that's building companies, whether that's building complex homes, really is going to rely on the effort I put in. And the third one, or the second one, is do not give up. Just keep going. The 5-year Corbin, what is not the same Corbin you see today. The 1-year Corbin isn't the same Corbin you see today. The 1-year Corbin you guys are going to see in 2026 is not going to be the same Corbin you see sitting here today. I'm going to be a different person. So the lesson and the moral of the story is don't let people tell you how to be successful in life. Always bet on yourself when it comes down to chasing dreams, and only listen to people that you see yourself becoming one day or have the lifestyle that you want to live, and find people like Brennan and Vlad that you've never met in your life and grow a strong relationship.
Yeah.
And use his tenacity, his wisdom, use his energy, and combine it so you guys can build a multi-million-dollar empire or a multi-billion-dollar empire.
And
I want to take it even deeper, because we're going to write down the goals, and let's say that you hate the job that you do now. So you're like, okay, maybe I'm going to get the new job. But you have to think of life and understand that you're going to reach the death point quicker than you think, and it's there. like I'm reading this book right now where they're talking about death and how we forget about it. And when we forget about the aspect of death, that we all die, and there is one day there is not going to be a Vlad, there is not going to be a Corbin and Brandon, and you just live for years without this thought, and it doesn't cross your mind every day or every couple of days. I don't know if it's bad or good. I think it's when you think of it, that it's there, and you're aware of it, you have more urgency in life, and you do things completely different. So where I want to take it, making small changes in life, like I want to get a new job because I'm tired of this management that I have at my job, will not change your life. Maybe the next year has got to be the year when you really turn it around 360 degree, and you actually start doing something that will contribute to that change, to that person that you see yourself in 5-10 years. Because moving to a new office at work that you hate will not really improve your life. That new office that now is in the corner or it has window is not going to change your life. Or moving to the employer that pays $5 more per hour, but you hate what you're doing and you don't see yourself doing it for 20 years, for 10 years, also not going to help. So just think of a life that will have an end, and you have to be more urgent with wherever you do. And especially if you're young, you don't have family, you don't have to feed anybody and be responsible for anybody. Now's the time to risk and actually be urgent with your life to change something, make big changes.
Yeah. So I'm going to go into 2026 like a fucking monster. I'll just tell you that right now.
I also fucking have a goal to articulate better my thoughts next year.
No, it's good.
Sometimes I feel like I can't articulate well enough.
I think everyone can really
too hard
feel,
on yourself sometimes.
I think everyone can really feel where you're coming from, Vlad, regardless if you can articulate it to the T, right? Everyone understands your backstory and your story, and they just appreciate your point of view, right? Coming from a third world country, that's huge, right? Most people don't have the balls and guts to do, what you've done in the past couple years, right? And still show up every single day. You're a testament to showcase, a man, what an ideal man looks like from your country. So big ups to you.
And can you Google really quick if Moldova is third world country though?
And also, Vlad,
I didn't think it is.
Cut you off. Vlad's sole provider for his family. As a man, not only does he take care of himself, but he takes care of his kid and his wife.
And you should take pride in that.
All under his own income.
If you're a man, you should take pride in that.
And he does it like a true man should. That's how every man should raise their family. However, in America, we've systemized the fact that the woman has to go to work.
Easiest thing you can do. Send your wife to work.
Yeah, it leads to divorce. I'll tell you that right now.
I will say this before I cut you off.
Yeah, you're good.
Moldova is not a third world country.
Yeah.
I do apologize.
I'm not offended. I just didn't know.
Yeah, I do apologize if I do offend anyone. I didn't mean so.
Maybe somebody's from...
But I'm from because he's from Transnistria, which is a country that's not even disclosed on the map. Yeah. So that shit could be a third world country. You don't fucking know.
Bro, it's a beautiful country.
I will say this to answer my...
This guy never traveled outside of California. Shut up.
Hey, I'm focused on becoming a millionaire and a billionaire. So having fun and going out and about.
It's not about having fun, Corbin. Let me explain something.
I live in a fucking box. Okay?
I understand, but traveling sometimes is more than reading 10 books. Just a week of traveling. It will expand your views.
Yeah.
I get it, but I got no fucking money to go do things like that.
You're too hard. bro. You're too hard on yourself.
Yeah, don't go anywhere. I just work and work.
Stop putting all the money into markets.
Yeah,
and
I'm a big investor.
Put that few $1,000 into just maybe start with America. But fuck, man, you have American passport. You can go anywhere you want, and you save everything for tomorrow, bro. There might be no tomorrow.
Good, it goes to my brother.
Okay, but you have to experience life. I mean,
I will.
You don't have to go crazy, but why don't you go to fucking Cambodia for 1 week next year?
Because is sales guaranteed? Is sales guaranteed?
What?
Is sales guaranteed?
No.
What sales guaranteed?
So if I'm not making money that
fuck
month,
that money, bro. If you can't go to Cambodia for 1 week, get a Thai massage.
So to get back on track, I really wanted to get back on
Cambodia. Use that Cambodia.
In Russian, it's Cambodia. Anyway.
To get back on track, to answer my own question, the biggest thing I have learned this past 2025 or this past year, from a bird's point of view, is kind of building off both of their points, right? I'd say the power of consistency, right? If you are willing to show up day in and day out and give it 100% effort, it will work out in your favor. No matter how big or that milestone is, you will get closer every single day, right? I've doubled my income. I've moved out of a horrible situation and now I'm in my own spot. Last year in December of 2024, I was a regular SDR, right? Just a regular sales rep. Now I'm the manager of that department with 18 reps underneath me, right? And I'm looking to hire about 7 more, right? So like I mentioned in the previous point, the power of consistency, you might not bear that fruit tomorrow, right? And enjoy the rewards of your fruit next month, but over a period of time, if you keep showing up, it will work out in your favor. I'd say that. I'd say faith, right? When you can't see, the end result, but you have faith that it'll work out in your favor. That's the biggest thing. I was at church today and the pastor said, faith is like the electricity for your belief to work, for God to bless you, right? Because if you don't have faith, how can he bless you, right? So I'd say those are the biggest things I've learned. And then just believing in yourself, right? No matter what your situation is or how many times you fucked up or what people tell you what you can and can't do, just always having that confidence, like, what, I'll figure it out, or I'll bet on myself, or I'll take this risk because I know I'll be able to, maneuver it and make it happen. That's what it's all about, right? Always have this unshakable confidence in yourself because you should, right? Have faith that the Lord will always bless you, right? Because he will if you trust in him and follow him, right? And the last most important thing is the power of consistency. If you show up day in and day out, odds will work out in your favor and you will supersede everyone, all the competition in your peers.
So I want to document it though. About 10 minutes ago, Corbin said that you're going to be a millionaire next year about this time.
That's the goal.
Brent, did you join Corbin on that statement?
Fuck yeah.
Okay. So that's why I want to subscribe to the channel right now and follow our journey because I want to find out, like if I would be you, I would want to find out if this guy actually did what he just announced he's going to do. And I'm not saying that I don't believe in you. I always did. I think you're going to be a billionaire. You're the hardest worker that I ever seen and all the other attributes you have. But it's a big statement to say, from, I don't know, wherever money you're making, whether you want to disclose it or not, no, right now, to get to $1 million, it's a big fucking statement. So,
I mean, Conor McGregor says is what you speak into existence and what you manifest into existence is what you will actually receive. But without speaking it, without putting that mental frequency out there, without basically telling yourself what you want in life, you won't get exactly what you want in life.
Yeah, but I started to hear that more and more often from young people and from a lot of people out there. Oh, you got to manifest. You got to, and I hear from a lot of people saying, yeah, I'm going to be a fucking billionaire. The other day, I met this guy that has nothing to do with becoming a billionaire. He's completely delusional. He worked at the same job. He's about like 45-year-old. He worked at the same job, making $5,000 as somebody's assistant for so many years, and he has no changes that he's gonna implement in his life, and it's completely delusional. And I meet a lot of delusional people, bro, nowadays. So I want to hear the series of actions that are gonna bring you that. Share that.
It.
And I want everyone to write down and break it down to days.
No, yeah.
So please share with us.
I'm with you. But just remember, like, you have to have a little delusion.
I agree with you.
To get to where you
want to be. No, I
be.
didn't say you don't have to. But it
have
has to align with actions and with your plan.
Yeah, but you said he didn't have any actions. I'm fucking grinding my eyes out right now. We just finished 14-hour day of work and we're fucking here doing a podcast.
Yeah, but if you keep doing that, it doesn't make you a millionaire. So what's your other plan? What's the other actions you're gonna?
It's gonna show up. You gotta invest. You gotta know how to use your money right, like you said.
So number two, number one, first job. You're gonna make probably $250,000, $300,000 from the
first
job.
First job, decrease your expenses, increase your income, invest some of your money.
So second investment,
find the right people to work.
Okay,
with.
third,
boom, done.
You think that we're gonna make something bigger out of it?
If we got a $250,000 multi-complex home, basically 20 unit home,
okay,
in a different state. Sold it for $2,000 minimum. That's $400,000 right there. We net home $26,000. In 10 months, we would have $260,000. So we would be initiating $250,000 right there. All I have to do is somehow, some way multiply that by 4.
So you already set your mind on buying some real estate property next year.
Might as well, or a shopping center, or even sooner. Or you're like sooner, to be honest. 10 grand for me, 20 grand for me, 30 grand for me, 10 grand from you, 10 grand from you. Boom, we just bought a home. We just sold that bitch.
I fucking like it.
That's how it should be.
I'm excited.
That's how it should be.
Yeah.
And like you said, we have multi-million-dollar clients that we work with.
Yeah.
Maybe we use their money.
Yeah. Yeah.
Make a quick 100,000.
100%.
Right? And you don't know. You know, most of the time, it could be as simple as starting a little podcast room, and we charge him for the podcast room while we do our own podcast.
And as we talked on our last podcast, test out things.
Yeah. And so it's just
test small.
Little things. Like today, my customer was an entrepreneur. Craziest thing I ever seen in my life. Okay. Sweet little lady walks in. She pulls out a bottle. I'm like, what is that? She's like, that's my water company. What do we always talk about? A product that can impact millions and billions of lives. What does everybody drink?
Water.
What does everybody drink?
H2O.
I'm just more curious to see her sales. Anybody can open a product.
Okay, well, what does everybody drink?
I own a brand.
What does everybody drink?
Bro,
what does everybody in the world drink?
Water.
Water.
Okay, you got it.
So you tap into a market, like Brandon said, that even if you sold $1 water to 1 million people, you just became a millionaire. But it takes balls.
Where does she sell it? Did she share?
In Newport, and she's about to go into Irwan, the highest, the most expensive grocery store.
I think it's one of the most competitive businesses. It's very hard to get into without personal brand.
Well, what she does is she works for Goldman Sachs. So not only does she work for a reputable company, Goldman Sachs has allowed her to put their name plus the water's name on it.
God bless her.
And then I told her, come into our job and put our name on the bottle, not to sell to customers, but put it in HR and then email it out to us and see if we want clean water with no microplastics and inside a glass bottle. So the moral of the story is it could just take one idea to make you the next multimillionaire.
People have millions of ideas. You have to test it and implement it.
So that's it. That's the podcast. The 2026 versions of ourselves are going to figure out a way to become a millionaire. That's the goal. And we're going to do it by being a team. So I don't know if that works for you. It fucking works for me. I'm not sure about you.
Yeah.
I'm good with it.
The biggest thing that I'm really trying to, achieve in 2026 is, of course, like utilizing the resources that I have at hand, right? Corbin and Vlad, something that my prior mindset was like just me, right? And utilizing like a team, and then just being a better leader, right? Because I'm a leader right now and I still have so much growth to tap into, right? But just understanding how to be that an exceptional leader that anyone would want to work for me, right? I inspire people. I hold people accountable. I push them more than they think that think that's even possible, right? Those are the biggest things for me, is like being a better leader, right? And just of course, being a millionaire, but really trying to like find that best optimized version of myself.
Yeah. Is there anything else to end the year in these next 6 days that would make either one of you like regret anything you did in 2025? Like, is there anything that you would do in these next 6 days that would like destroy everything that you've done for 2026?
I don't know what you mean by this question, but
like, would you change anything that you've already changed? Like, do you regret changing certain things in your life? Like, you changed jobs. Was that something that you regret?
no, listen. It's like one of those things, like I was talking about earlier. Yes, of course, I wanted bigger changes, and if you look in a new direction and you don't see yourself in that field, let's say in 10-15 years, don't try to please yourself with a new office or a new job. So make bigger changes. So I would just like to get something more serious changes where it would be more impactful. But nothing wrong with what happened this year, and it's just time to grow and actually break down a plan into small steps. And I have nothing. I don't have a problem with your guys' idea of, okay, it's just gonna like fall into place and you have to manifest it and by the end of the year. But I really think we should, each one of us should write down the goals month by month. And okay, if we buy a complex, realistically, when it's going to happen? It's going to happen in June. Okay, so in January, we start researching the market. In February, we're going to look at financing, how we're going to get it. And
would you guys
so
do
on
that?
and so on.
Would you guys be open to that idea of having a multi-complex home?
First of all, we have to figure out the goal and really like settle on that goal. I don't know. We talked about it, but I was thinking that making a flip is more realistic.
Yeah, but what about longevity for complex home?
Another reason to subscribe to the channel so you can see how 2026 maps out for
It's
us.
crazy. I'm just being honest. I just wanted to have real talk. Like, while we're on camera, what do you think about actually pulling some money together as a team and getting some sort of property that we can rent out and start making some passive income? Because that's how it all starts, man. That's my personal and honest opinion. That's how it starts, is building that one asset and then multiplying it like the hot dog stand. Right?
I like the idea of passive income, but if you want to have substantial changes in your life, then I think having to do something with flips is a better idea, because it can actually change your life, and then you start building passive income. But if you're okay with having what you have now for 5, 7, 10 years, then you should probably go in that direction.
I think another thing we gotta realize too is everyone talks about passive income. We need to focus on our active income too. Right? We're actively doing something to
100%.
increase our
Increase.
income, 100x our income. Right? And then since we have such a surplus in our income, we put into assets where it gives us that passive income. So I think instead of trying to look so much as far as passive, we need to look active. Where can we combine all three of our efforts, our talents, our hunger, our mindsets to build something that will help us 100x our income? I think that's kind of what we need to put our time and focus going into 2026, right? Another big thing for the audience that I really want you to focus on is focus on the things that you can control, right? Your inputs. Do everything in your power, right? To just put your time and focus in not so much the end goal, right? Of course, write that goal down, talk about it, manifest it, but put your time and focus into actionable things that will help you get steps closer to that goal, right? Because you're going to get down on yourself halfway through the year. And what's halfway through the year? June, when you're not even close to your goal. But if you're telling yourself, you know what, I've been consistent, I've made this amount of steps, I've done this, then you have something to look back on and be like, you know what, I actually am making progress. Right? I'm still far from that goal, but I'm still making progress. I've gotten this amount of better. I've increased my revenue by this. I've developed these skill sets, right? So just a huge thing is focus on the things that you can control.
Yeah, man. Like we just talked about it, you have to break down your plan into small steps, break down the whole year into months, and always have the accountability check with yourself, with your team. And I think that's the way I'm going to try to be, and really slow down next year, like slow down to go faster, because I don't want to wake up throughout the mid of the year and, oh, fuck, it's already June, and then think of my plan for the next year. I really want to slow down and make a plan now and take action.
If you had to describe 2025 for both of you guys before we end this podcast off in one word, what would that be?
Life-changing for me.
Testing. I was tested this year. I didn't talk about everything that I had going on in my life this year. Some things were private.
Yeah.
But
I think you brought up a couple things to me about that.
I was tested this year, and it was an easy year. Yeah. But and like each year you think next year is going to be easier.
No, that's so crazy you say that.
And
I thought the same thing, and it was one of the harder years of my life.
But the difficult things build stronger men.
Yeah,
so
like that.
I look at myself now, and 2 years ago, two different people.
Yeah, same
So you're only getting better.
I haven't even reaped the rewards of not smoking and drinking yet. I'm still working on the communication and building that ability to be utmost confident with that. Like, Vlad has no idea. Brendan knows I would smoke every day, 24/7. And you never met that Corbin, which is insane to me. He would have dinner with me, and I'll be like, let me go get high real quick before we go go eat, remember?
Yeah, we'd be like, hey, come join me outside. Let me smoke before our food comes out.
Yeah, and he would
We'd
come
tell
out.
the waiter.
He'd be super cool. And he'd come out, and I'd tell the waiter I'm going out. Everybody knew I smoked. So my table would sit there nice and neat. I'll be right back. I'm going to go outside and smoke.
I don't know, bro. Like, where I'm from, people don't really smoke weed. Like, I didn't grow up with this shit. They drank alcohol, and I remember in 7th grade, they would just smoke regular cigarettes.
Yeah.
And I never participated in that because just as it was who I was never trying to blend in. But here in America, it seems like to blend in, you really have to be like smoking weed and doing drugs.
So tie back into Brennan's. If you could describe the year 2025 in one word for you, what would that be?
I kind of want to say 2 words.
No, just one.
Yeah, you only get one.
I'm just kidding. Say 2, bro. It's your year, so you describe it.
I'll say this. I'll give you 2 different ones. I'll say leadership, and then I'll also say emotional intelligence. Leadership, because I was put into a leadership role where I have, 18 to 16 people relying on me, that I got to lead these individuals to allow them to progress, to hold them accountable, right? I was kind of thrown into the fire, but just understanding, like, if I lead myself, then I can be an example to others on how they can lead as well, right? And then I'll say emotional intelligence, really understanding and taking control of your emotions, not allowing your emotions to get the best of you, right? There's going to be so many case scenarios in life, in your job, in your relationships, where things happen and you're going to be pissed off. You're going to be stressed. You're going to be sad. You have to be stoic in those situations, especially if you are a leader, because then other people are going to be flustered, right? You can't lead a team, or you can't be considered, a role model if you're getting all, frazzled when things aren't working in your favor, right? A true leader is stoic in the most chaotic environments or situations. And I think that's the biggest things I've learned this year. Again, I know I said one word, but I'd say emotional intelligence and then leadership.
That's what being a man is. Being stoic. To stick to the plan, whether it's going to the gym when you don't feel like it, or doing the project that you committed yourself doing and committing to it every day, regardless of how you feel. That's what being a man is. This is what being an adult is. We were looking at our parents as kids, and they were waking up to go to the job. They controlled their emotions, well, as much as they could. And that's how we perceive them as adults, as parents. So this is just a regular, normal process of becoming an adult. And you never have to forget about being stoic and how to control your emotions and stick to the plan as a man. So it's very important.
100%. I'm excited for 2026. I know all 3 of us are going to hit the ground running, right? We already are, right? We're attacking everything with vengeance. We're going to prove everybody wrong. We're going to hit the goals that we have in place, right? So it's going to be a huge, huge, huge year for us. So we're just going to reap all the work that we've been putting in the past couple of years.
I'm going to do Ironman next year.
Yeah. I'm not. That's all him.
You're just going to be running with me 40 miles. You're like, what the fuck? Why I'm fucking doing this? Like this year we ran 20 miles before my marathon without water.
Yeah.
And Corbin's like, I'm thinking, fuck, I'm going through the struggle. And I'm doing this like to get myself ready for the marathon. Why he's doing this? And he's just running next to me. Same thing's going to be with Aaron, man. You're going to be training with me.
So is there anything else for today's podcast that you guys want the audience to know?
Just sum it up what we talked about. Prioritize, identify the right opportunities, systemize yourself,
teamwork.
Have a plan. Stick to it. Put yourself in the right environment. Surround yourself. Change your habits first before you attract new people in your life, and they will be attracted easy. And then build a wolf pack and work as a team. Break down your goals in small steps and relentlessly commit to them, putting emotions aside, and be a fucking man.
Yeah.
All of those are amazing, right? And that's going to help you progress and get to those goals and milestones. But understand this too. You have to be grateful. No matter if you hit all your goals or you didn't even hit any of them, you still have to be grateful, because you can't level up, you can't progress if you're not even grateful for the smallest things, right? So just rewire in your brain, okay, like I'm grateful that I just had the opportunity to wake up. I'm grateful for the opportunity that God allows me to wake up and just try it again, right? So I think one of the biggest things is you have to be grateful. The more grateful you are, the more blessings and opportunities are going to come your way as well.
Yeah. And like Kobe Bryant says, right? You wake up one day and you win, and then you got to do it all over again. Wake up the next day, you lose. Doesn't matter. You got to wake up again the next day and go again and again and again. So every day is going to bring you a new challenge. Attack the challenge. Be stoic. Be that better version of yourself. Take 2026 head on. And let's just see where life takes us three throughout the next few years, throughout next year. And we do appreciate everybody watching the channel tonight. And we appreciate everybody watching the channel over the last few weeks. And we just want to say thank you.
100%. And regardless of what everybody says of the new year and how everybody likes to set the new goals right before the beginning of the year, it's opportunity from God to give you another chance to start from scratch and start building a new yourself. So for those that still watching at this point of the podcast, thank you for watching us today. Subscribe to this channel to watch our journey and build a new future with us.
Peace.
We'll see you in the next podcast.
In the new year.